Hello dear beautiful human, I'm RidersDX and welcome to a very different video today, at least in terms of subject matter, because if I'm being honest, I didn't really know who this guy was like a week ago, so it's very interesting for me to now be making this really big video on it, because this is a video about the brand new Kao the Kangaroo video game coming out this year in the summer. And so for those of you who didn't know, like me, Kao the Kangaroo was one of those early 2000s platformers that sort of just faded into obscurity, but it is now being brought back after years and years of nothing happening, and it's got this big 3D platformer that's going to be coming out later this year. And so just watching the trailer, I'm really intrigued and interested in this, being a 3D platformer myself. Well, I'm not a 3D platformer, I'm a fan of 3D platformers. English, am I right? I thought it'd be a really cool idea to just take a look at this game, really dive into the details that we know about it so far, and give y'all every single thing there is to know about it. Now, special thanks to Dave, who did a lot of the analysis here for this video. Together we came up with 20 different facts about this game that you need to know about, so definitely stick to the very end to learn everything you need to know about this game, including the development, things you can look forward to, possibilities, story details. Everything is right over here. And so let's go ahead and get started. At number 1, this game is being developed by Tate Multimedia, which is a Polish-based studio that's actually responsible for all 3 of the original titles. The last game in the series came out over 10 years ago, and so it's really amazing to see that the original studio is still interested in this game series after all these years. At number 2, this game is coming out on practically every single modern console you can imagine. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Nintendo Switch, and Windows. At number 3, this game is officially declared as a reboot of the franchise, according to the head of the studio. In the press release, they were quoted saying, "It's really exciting to finally be able to say to people that yes, we will be launching Kao the Kangaroo this summer," says Kaja Boroko. Throughout development, it's been important to us to make sure Kao's new adventure both feels like a tribute to his previous outings for existing fans, as well as a fresh contemporary platform for newcomers. This is not a sequel, this is a complete reboot, and we can't wait to see players young and old come together to take on the role of Kao once more this summer. Number 4, though not much of the plot is known so far, according to the Steam page, the journey will be focused on a quest to uncover the truth around the disappearance of Kao's father. It was also previously confirmed that Kao's sister Kaya is missing, so there's 2 different cases to basically solve here in this game, and that's what the whole adventure is based upon. And number 5, so we're gonna dive into the trailer itself now and really dig deep into the analysis of it. So in the beginning of the trailer, you can see that Kao is first seen walking through what seems to be some kind of hub world. It's like a beach village, and you can see another kangaroo walking to the right, pointing to NPCs that you can talk to. This being a 3D platformer, this is completely natural for a game like this. And number 6, one of the most interesting things about Kao is the fact that he wears boxing gloves. But what's really interesting about this game in particular is that the boxing gloves seem to have different powers. In the first shot, you can see that it has some kind of purple glow. In the second shot, it looks like it's a fire type glove now. So this points to Kao being able to upgrade his gloves with different kinds of powers to aid him throughout the game, which can allow for some variety as you progress through the game. Maybe similar to like a Mario Odyssey kind of thing with the hats, or something even cooler. The main idea for attacking seems to be Kao lunging forward with a fist punch with these gloves, which knocks collectibles such as coins, diamonds, and even hearts out of the enemies. This looks to be set up to be a collectathon kind of platformer as well, and so there's looking to be tons of different things to collect. At number 7, speaking of the coins, according to a tweet from the studio back in August of 2020, these coins are called ducats with a giant D on them. At number 8, there are various different levelings that can be seen in the review trailer, which actually look to be heavily inspired by Spyro Reignited's look. There's like a beach area, an Arctic area, a jungle slash swamp area, a volcano area, and there's even a theme park slash mine that can be sort of spotted in the promo picture. At number 9, there's other modes of transportation that Kao is able to partake in. There's one area in the game where you'll be able to grind on a vine, for instance, and there's also another area in the game where you're able to slide down ice slopes, which is a very common feature in the original games. At number 10, there are actually some features similar to Crash Bandicoot as well. So much like Crash Bandicoot, you can see that there are crates featured in the game here with question marks. There's also this monkey bar like section with traps seemingly featured on the monkey bars themselves, which is very similar to some levels in the original Crash trilogy. At number 11, there's a variety of enemies that can be seen throughout the trailer. So there's crabs, for instance, which seems to be really prevalent here. They're kind of like this franchise's Goombas, I guess. There's also sheep slash goats that was spotted in the Arctic area. There There are frogs spotted in the swamp / jungle. There's monkeys / apes. There's flying monkeys. And the Twitter also has some other enemies that they showed off, like this one called a stinker, and also this pufferfish that seems very, very hungry. So it looks like there's a large variety of different kinds of enemies here, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they all do. At number 12, there's one part of the trailer where Kao can be seen grappling on top an overhead gem to get across a gap of water. As he's grappling, it looks like he's picking up something that looks like a firestone. This could potentially mean his power-ups are timed, and this is actually like the mechanism of how you switch between different power-ups with the gloves. To keep it going, perhaps you'll have to collect more of them to keep energy up, or it could be like a Mega Man-like thing where you can only use a bit of the power and recharge as you go along your journey, meaning you'll run out of it eventually. At number 13, this game is sporting another Crash Bandicoot inspired section. As you can see that Kao is running from, I think it's a really angry ape or something, in a classic chase sequence that's seen very, very often in Crash Bandicoot games. At number 14, there's a occurrence of paths that you will use to bounce throughout levels here, as you can see within this Arctic level. And number 15, in one scene the trailer looks like it's highlighting a certain type of enemy or boss, the sheep with a pogo stick specifically. And so it looks like with each of the environments there'll be specific bosses that seems to be evolutions of the enemies seen around there. Very, very classic 3D platformer collectathon like things. At number 16, I thought this was really cute, but at one point in the trailer you could see a frog band playing the trailer song over here. The frogs look to be a type of inhabitants that populate this world. I also found this tweet on the Twitter that shows off a snowman that lives in the Arctic environments, and so it looks like this game will have lots of very colorful characters to populate the worlds and possibly be NPCs that offer Kao side quests or details to progress through the main story, or who knows what else. At number 17, you can see a really fancy looking ape near the end jumping into battle. This, in my opinion, is likely the main enemy. I'm not sure if this is an enemy that was apparent in previous Kao games, but he looks very, very menacing, and he's even featured in promo art over here, looking in a very serious manner. So I'm thinking this is the main enemy. We don't really know much about him yet, but I'm sure we'll find out as time progresses. At number 18, speaking of this promo image near the end, there's also a koala that's seen over there, which might be a mentor to Kao to kind of show that distinction between good and evil, with the ape being right next to the koala. There are mentions in the game's description on the Steam page of Kao learning from a mentor, so this looks to be the mentor that they're talking about. At number 19, that is the end of the trailer. There's really not much to see in it. However, on the Twitter page, there's so much other stuff there, and one of the things I found very interesting is that we have some images of some of Kao's allies. So one of them is called Gadget, which from what I can tell is Kao's best friend in this game, and he's probably going to act like a Tails kind of like person, offering lots of different gadgets and stuff to upgrade Kao and such. But that's just my theory. We also get a quick look at Kaya, which is Kao's sister. She looks a little bit similar in terms of family resemblance to Kao, but definitely has her own style going on. I really like how she looks here. I really can't wait to see her in the game itself. By the way, there's so much concept art and stuff here if you want to take a look. The developers are very, very open about the development process, and this game has been going on since 2020, so there's definitely a lot of stuff you can take a look at if you want to. The last bullet point I thought was worth mentioning, I mean, the Twitter itself tweeted out this post to make sure that we all knew. But yes, Kao's neck still extends. For those of you who don't know, Kao's neck extending was a prominent feature in Kao 2, and it is brought back here in the new game. So yeah, that's great. We all love long necks, I guess, am I right? But okay, that's pretty much every detail Dave and I were able to deduce from this game so far. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do y'all think of Kao the Kangaroo so far? Are y'all interested in the game? Are y'all gonna get it? Or you're all just kind of sick and tired of platformers at this point? If you're sick and tired of platformers, by the way, then I honestly don't know why you're on this YouTube channel, because platformers are basically my bread and butter. We talk about them all the time. We love them here. So yeah, I guess that's a you problem if you're not into them. But anyway, y'all, I'm really interested in this game. It looks really, really fun, and I'm actually really interested in learning more about Kao in general. So I would love to make a video just talking about Kao's history and origins, and just give a brief rundown of everything that's happened in the franchise so far. But to see this franchise come back after so many years of being dormant and getting this kind of a treatment, it really just goes to show that any kind of dead 3D platformer franchise can come back and make a splash. Banjo-Kazooie. But anyway, y'all, thank you so much, and yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments, please. It gets very lonely here, so yeah, I really would appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching this video. Special shout out to my patrons, New Gamer Hub, Team Rattle Sign Gamer, Trash Q, Claw84. These are my patrons / YouTube members. If you'd like to become a patron or YouTube member, get access to a whole bunch of different perks, and please check out the links in the description box below. But alright, this is Riders, riding out.